This episode is brought to you by Soul Taker Fightwear, proud partners of the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast. I recently had my own custom Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast gi designed by the team, complete with Soul Taker branding and my name embroidered on it, and I absolutely love it. If you're thinking about a custom gi for yourself, your academy, or your team, head over to Soul Taker Fightwear and start the conversation today. You're listening to the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast, and I'm Lou Temlett. I know you're having a good day because either you've been on the mats, considering getting on the mats, or maybe you're wanting to give back to Jiu Jitsu. I'm so happy you're here listening or watching this episode. Please don't tap out before the end. When you want to get people on the floor, start training Jiu Jitsu, I'd like to welcome Philip Wheeler to my podcast. It's so hot. How are you doing, Philip?
Melting. I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm hoping my speech will hold up throughout the episode. It's so nice to chat with you. We've connected on Instagram and we've managed to get this recording together. And I'm very excited to hear what you're up to. But you're wanting to get people on the floor. There's a bit of a kind of theme of people improving their ground game, but you come to jiu-jitsu with a whole raft of martial arts behind you.
Yes. I've trained martial arts since I was 8 years old, and predominantly stand-up. So when someone told me to begin with, I need to lay down and let someone get on top of me, I was confused. And to be fair, I'm still quite confused now.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's hear about these martial arts, particularly the stand-up ones, if we haven't heard about these before.
Yeah, so my main stand-up back in the day was karate. Before it became, I guess, a bit of a joke. So when it was still sort of full contact and actually effective. I'd done that for about 22 years, I think.
Wow.
So I got my second degree black belt in that. Done some Thai boxing, some more of the sort of older style, authentic style. Again, I'm no expert in any of these, but I like to do martial arts.
Yeah.
Done some basic weapon training, so like nunchaku, bojitsu, bits and pieces. Done some Japanese jiu-jitsu for quite a while actually,
Nice.
which is interesting. So they're my main ones that I've done before Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I've also ventured now into judo as well, which is fun.
Ooh, interesting. So where are you ranked in judo at the moment, or are you literally just starting?
Got my blue belt from Ray Stevens.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's my level. Again, I'm no expert, but I'm trying to incorporate it into the jiu-jitsu, which is hard when people just sit down.
Okay. Now you mentioned a blue belt. I didn't actually know there was a blue belt in judo. I know nothing about judo, and I've seen some red and yellow belts. But where are the rankings for judo? Because I don't get it.
We've got blue, brown, and black. It's the equivalent of a purple belt in BJJ. That's where it sits.
Okay.
So again, I wouldn't say it's high, because as we know, BJJ's got a much higher sort of equivalent per belt than other martial arts. It took me 11 years to get black belt in karate.
Yeah.
I don't think the average person gets that in BJJ. It's probably, I think the average in the UK is about 12 to 14 years.
Yeah.
Unless you obviously win the worlds or you're phenomenal and you train 5 times per day.
Yeah. 5 times a day. Certainly not in this heat, Philip.
Or this age.
We're young.
Yes,
so you're in Masters 3.
Yes.
And I've seen you on the competition circuit. Talk to me about one of your recent events.
Oh, so my last competition was European Masters in Barcelona. I love competing there. Actually, it's a nice venue, a nice event.
Yeah.
I do struggle with getting opponents in competitions because of my size. Yeah. So most of the time I'm having to go down an age or two and up 2 weights.
Wow.
Because of just my sort of size. So I love competing. It doesn't always go my way. but I definitely put in my absolute best every single time. I think you was at the European Masters last year, wasn't you? I believe
24. So it feels
24.
like an absolute age ago, and it's in a new venue now.
Yeah,
which I was like,
much
I didn't
better.
recognize it at all.
So we didn't know this, and we booked the same hotel as last year.
Yeah.
We walked across the road to the venue, and there's badminton happening, and we're like, "What have we done?" And then we realised it was 25 minutes the other way, but it's so much better. So much better. Yeah, I definitely recommend it for next year.
Yeah, I absolutely love Barcelona. I took my kids. We did loads of tourist stuff as well, because I think is it 2 or 3 day event? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 or 3. 2, 3. We'll go for 2.5 in between.
All right, 2.5. But my match was on the Sunday at 5 o'clock, literally a few hours before the flight home. So I was more worried about logistics than anything else. But it did mean we got a great amount of tourist kind of thing. Tourist time in. There are a few places that we still didn't manage on the bus tour, but means I'll have to go again.
Yeah, next year. I'll see you there.
Oh my God. I was signing myself up for all these competitions. I've yet got to finance myself and logistically organise myself, but who knows? So Barcelona has been one of your venues. Where else have you travelled around the world for competitions?
Last year, I done the Masters, World Masters in Las Vegas. And that is an absolute phenomenal event. Now, I signed up to that as a blue belt.
Yeah.
Got my purple belt and then competed 6 weeks later at World Masters, which was fun. The venue there is phenomenal. I mean, it's so big that there's a warm-up mat and a changing room tent per section.
Yeah.
So it's just massive. And there's all stands and you can buy clothes and see people. It's just fantastic. Yeah.
So the vibe around all of these things. Okay, not another one. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like I can see that the budget scrolling right now, Philip. It's not doing me any good having all these conversations.
No.
But going to all these venues and competing, it just sounds like actually it's, I don't know, depending on how you see competing in itself, it sounds like a lot more fun, the surrounding and the kind of energy around all of it. But you say you really love competing. What is it about competing that is your thing?
It's a fun day out. It's a great way of collecting data. If I do this, this happens. If I do that, that happens. Am I able to do what I'm doing while people are watching me, screaming at me, recording me? I'm hot or I'm cold, different countries. Am I able to do what I'm supposed to do under pressure? And if you can't, then that's what you need to work on. Is it the pressure getting to you? Is it the game plan, the mindset? Is it actually your jiu-jitsu or something completely different? So I think competing is something everyone should do, even if they just see it as a bit of a quick side hustle. I'm going to quickly pop over to Coventry, do a quick competition there, not telling anybody. It's not a big deal. If I get a medal, here you go. If I don't, I still went. I think competing is fantastic. It makes me happy.
Good. I'm really pleased to hear that, because I know you just mentioned, get yourself to a competition. You don't need to tell anyone. Yeah. And I know so many people that sneak off to competitions and then suddenly come back to training on a Monday night with a gold medal or a Naga belt, for example. Do you share the fact that you're competing, Philip, or do you just sneak off?
I usually always tell my professor if I'm going to do a competition. But apart from that, not often. Again, because of my matchups, I tend to only get people in my categories at the big ones. Yeah. In which case, I tell the entire world I'm going because it's a big one, and I want to just share how happy I am, and just to get my own community a bit more stoked, not just for me but for the whole thing. If I was to find somebody my age and my size around the corner, I would just go. But I do take myself to open mats as often as possible, and I do cross train everywhere.
Good.
So I also treat them as not competitions because they're not your enemies. They're your friends, but I do treat them as a bit of a mindset thing.
Yeah.
And I do them all the time.
Good. I love that. And when you said, if you found someone your age and weight nearby, my mind went straight back to university doing a 3-legged pub crawl. And I'm like, that's exactly, no, I'm not going to take my opponent to the pub, but I am going to keep hold of them when I find them.
I collect people along the way. If I'm out and about and I see someone that I think's in my category, we become friends. And I keep them in like a little WhatsApp group.
I love it. I think we should all do this. Just encouraging more people to start and continue training, but equally get everyone to local competitions or international competitions. And just I love the energy that you have, Philip.
Thank you.
I know you were really excited about coming on the show and chatting, and it's just so cool. We've got lots more to talk about. But I don't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many directions
so many things
with this conversation right now.
One thing I like to tell everyone, if they haven't done competitions yet, is you're going to make new friends. I have never once, even Las Vegas, I've never once been to any competition where I haven't just been like, oh, hey mate, oh, how you doing? Didn't know you was here. Even stall holders, I've become friends with. I've got people now that I talk to weekly on Instagram that I met because they hold a stall in one of the events, or they're the refs, or paramedics. You make friends everywhere.
Nice. It is good. And I think that's one of the things that, society is so isolated. We live in communities, but we just don't have the vibe. We're of the similar, I'm obviously older than you, Philip, but a similar generation where growing up, we were around each other's mates' houses, and we were, scrabbling around in the woods in the summer and, building dens. You remember the den building. Anyway, But there was a lot more kind of community, it felt like, and we've just become such an isolated kind of population. And jiu-jitsu, as we all know, because we're all in jiu-jitsu, has just kind of broadened all of our communities. Is there anyone that stands out for you that you've met along the way?
Any particular person, you mean? Or
anyone that you're kind of vibe with, or they I don't know.
Do you know what?
See them again?
If I find out someone does jiu-jitsu, I automatically just start in my head, well, they're my family. So in terms of anyone in particular, no, because even if one of my patients comes here, we start off very professional, maybe a handshake and hello, good morning. When they say jiu-jitsu, they get a fist bump from me straight away. And we're like, it's now family. If I'm out and about and I see someone with cauliflower ears, I can say hello to them. They might do rugby, but they might not. So in terms of anyone in particular, no, it really is the entire community. And then we've got a few rogues, but we've got rogues in every industry. But as a whole, an individual person, no. I think all of us individually, we make the family of jiu-jitsu up. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Again, I've done other martial arts. I've done other sports. I've competed in other things. But jiu-jitsu is different. Yeah.
I agree. And actually, whilst you were saying that, I do have one person to kind of shout out, Cara Rose, who I met in Barcelona when I was a white belt. She was the only other person out there that I knew, and she was just supporting me. And I'm going to be seeing her very soon at a couple of seminars, and I occasionally see her at open mats. So I just want to personally shout out you, Cara, because you are there for more than just one of us. So thank you for that. And there are so many people in the community that just bring everything together. But you mentioned about being professional and into your kind of workplace. Tell us what you do, Philip.
Okay, I help fix people. That's my title. I help fix people. And the next question is, but how? What do you do? What can you fix? And then I kind of say it as I help fix people. No, I don't fix anyone myself. I facilitate it.
Ooh.
And that's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And I combine Eastern and Western medicine together. I believe both have their places, and I believe that neither should be excluded. No, I'm a massive fan of Chinese medicine. I teach it, I do it. But I also recommend and promote the use of pharmaceuticals if required, surgical interventions if required. I definitely believe they work together. And I'm not a big fan of excluding either. I think there's a time and a place for everything.
I agree. And we will find out more about that in a moment. Community Spotlight on Health Jevity CIC. Health Jevity CIC believes that everyone should have access to the care, support, education, and opportunities they need to thrive, regardless of their circumstances. By removing financial barriers and investing in people, they're helping to build healthier, stronger communities where compassion, integrity, and opportunity sit at the heart of everything they do. Because when people are given the chance to succeed, entire communities benefit. To find out more about the work of Health Jevity CIC and how they're making a difference, search for Health Jevity online or go to healthjevity.org. This is the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast with me, Lou Temlett, coming to you from the UK. Keep checking out the clips that drop as soon as I've recorded an episode, even in this heat, usually way before the episode goes live. And as always, subscribe, follow, all of those things to help me grow to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube in 2026. Today, I'm having a conversation with Philip Wheeler. Okay, you mentioned Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
I remember growing up in the kind of 80s and 90s, and there was a Chinese medicine shop, and I remember jars and jars of like dried things in the window. Is that Chinese medicine, or is there something more?
Yeah, so Chinese medicine is a broad spectrum way of assessing, diagnosing, and treating. So acupuncture, we all know, is the needles.
Yeah.
However, if you look at the actual Chinese writing of it, it's broken down into two words, which is needle and herb.
Oh.
So actually, it's technically needle with herb. And that herb could be like a moxa, which you burn, and it can be burning on the needle or on the skin, or it can be taken as a tonic, as a cream, as a tincture. So yeah, Chinese medicine would be what that shop was doing. You tend to get a specialist in either herbalism or a specialism in acupuncture, and it's usually a husband and wife combo. The wife will usually do the herbs and the husband do the needling, and the tweener, which is the Chinese medical massage. But nowadays, a lot of people are proficient in both of them together.
Yeah.
But you tend to have what you prefer, as you know, that sort of thing. So that's Chinese medicine. Did you try it?
I didn't. I was always intrigued because I think it was next to kind of, some of the, not cosmetics, some of the skincare things in the kind of 80s and 90s, or the record shop where I used to spend most of my money on tapes and albums and singles. The kids don't even know what these things are.
You mean making your own mixtape? What's that?
I've got some. No, we all used to do mixtapes. Anyway, let's not go there. That I'm too many memories from the 80s and 90s, Philip. We cannot go there. So, why did you train in Chinese medicine alongside your kind of martial arts as you were growing up? Great
question. So, obviously, I started karate at 8. We had Karate Kids.
Yep.
Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi is a real person, and he was the founder of Goju-Ryu Goju-Kai karate, which I done. So remember that crane kick? That's a real move. I learned that when I was like 8, 9, 10. But I also realized at that age that martial arts, to be a true martial art, it has to have different areas of it. So there's the stand up, the ground, the horse fight, the horseback. There's the healing side of it, the medical side of it, the herb side of it. And so I then started learning more about Chinese medicine and Japanese medicine. Even when I was 8, 9, 10, I was always interested in samurais. And it kind of all goes hand in hand. However, my first job was a chef.
Okay.
So
well, maybe mixing things together.
Well,
I wanted
to be a karate sensei for a living. Yeah. And my parents were like, that's not really a job. That's not a real thing. And bearing in mind, my dad and his family have got boxing gyms, like quite well-known ones. And there's me wearing pajamas, hugging people, not punching like a real person should. So I kind of, went from being a chef and then doing personal training courses, nutrition courses. So I went about my sort of career backwards. So I got to where I wanted to be, but just from a different route. I don't think I've answered your question at all, have I? I've just sort of
no, but that's fine. I think there are so many more job titles, and you can even make up your own job title.
Yeah.
And there are lots of things that weren't available or even dreamt of when we were kids. But to approach something, building the foundation of your future vision, because we can't rush to that final place and that final career choice often. We have to build up a kind of series of skills and abilities and learnings and life experience to actually get to that point. Did you have that insight that you were building the foundations for what you're doing now?
Transferable skills is a great thing, and that's what I'm always banging on about to everyone. Yes, I do think that even from a young child, I've always had this ability to just kind of not know stuff, but I'm very intuitive.
Yeah.
And I knew that everything I was doing and learning, experiencing, and even failing at was all useful for me in the future.
Wow.
Again, a lot of people in my industry now, even if you look at medical doctors, they haven't got an understanding of nutrition. And if they do, they can't cook. So then telling your patients what to eat and how to make it is a transferable skill.
Yeah.
So that, again, is useful. Your patients or even your jiu-jitsu athletes may need to get stronger, get fitter, get healthier. Having that aspect of being a qualified personal trainer and fitness coach is useful. So all the things I've done has kind of, so it's my toy I'm holding. You might see it keep popping up on the screen. I've got a whole host of toys here that I'm currently playing with. You have no idea. But anyway,
that's fine.
keeps me active.
Something I know from working in kind of neurodivergent fields, it's stimming.
Yeah, could you tell?
That's fine. We all have a thing, but actually you are so articulate, and actually, things like stimming can keep us so focused and enthusiastic about what we're doing. And I think just being able to be you and show up as your authentic self rather than to be shoehorned into a potential career that wasn't your thing. What was the worst thing you could have thought of for your future, Philip, when you were 8 years old?
An office worker.
Right answer.
It's just the worst thing possible. But anywhere where I have to mask. I was teaching a group about 2 months ago. It was a new class. I said, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to start flapping because I'm really happy. I'm excited. I'm glad you're all here. And they all said to me, oh, thank you for telling us. Yeah, go for it. And I was happy as Larry all day, but I couldn't just sit at a desk all day and be told I have to get up at this time, at that time, do this at that time. I want to be able to just sit here and play with my troll while I'm talking to you and being happy. So I'm going to keep playing with my troll.
Good.
I collect trolls, by the way. Have you seen my trolls?
Oh, do you? No.
I've got a whole massive troll collection.
Okay. If anyone has any trolls that they can send to Philip, please do.
Yes.
Are there any that you're missing, Philip?
I haven't got a doctor troll yet.
Okay.
And I'm desperate for a doctor troll. Please.
Okay. Look, this is why I don't have questions for podcast conversations, because I never know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to fit anyone or myself into a box,
Mm-hmm.
because the free flow conversation just brings so much joy. Where do you want to be with your jiu-jitsu career and your kind of lifestyle career that you have at the moment in the future?
For my jiu-jitsu career, my aspirations is to be as good as my Professor David Anuma. That's never going to happen, but he is my goals in life. When I grow up, I want to be like David.
Good.
So, I mean, what I mean by that is, I want to be able to go to a competition knowing that I am the absolute best there, and win it based on what I teach, what he teaches. Of course, I'd be lying if I said you don't want to get a black belt, because I still never believe people when they say, I just want to be the best I can be and belts don't matter to me. I don't really believe that, because a black belt signifies that you've stuck at something long enough to be good. You may not be good or as good as you could be, but I do want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the best at every belt that I can be at every belt. I'm currently a 2-stripe purple belt. Do I get my ass kicked by some white belts? Absolutely. Does that mean I'm not a purple belt? No. It just means that for my age, my size, my lifestyle, what I put into it, my professor deems me to be a purple belt. And I want to keep going, and every belt be the best that I can be at every belt. I want to win some big comps. I'd love to win my next comp coming up. That would be quite cool. And I'm working hard at that. And in terms of my career, I do help lots of people per year from all around the world, and I want to continue doing that. But I also want to help develop the next generation of me, so that other people can help people, because there's only one of me. And I'm working on that as well. That's what I'm doing.
Good. Okay, we've got 2 topics that I want to explore, but you've got something coming up in August.
Yes.
It's not World Masters, but you alluded to something else, and you wouldn't tell me before we started recording. And now tell me.
I don't want to now. No. So, okay. So in August, we're having our first family holiday abroad in about 4 years. That's myself, my partner, and 2 out of 3 children. We're off to Las Vegas. I believe the day after we land, myself and my partner Jerry are going to get married.
Oh, congratulations!
That's the first competition.
You're already winning.
And then I think the day after that, myself and my youngest, we've entered the UFC BJJ Open, which is the first ever UFC Open they're ever doing. And so we've got, I think we're landing 19th, 20th. We've got the wedding, I think, the day after. We've then got 22nd and 23rd, no-gi and gi. And then on the 26th, I turn 42.
Oh my gosh,
so
what
August
a week.
is going to be phenomenal. I'm looking forward to it. I'm navigating a few injuries, but I have got, I believe, the absolute best team around me of jiu-jitsu people, physios, doctors, family, nutrition support, S&C coaches that I need for myself. So that's, I'm happy.
Okay, let me just take a moment. I'm kind of blown away.
I'm breathe.
That was amazing. I cannot wait to see all the stories on your socials.
Yeah.
Because, of course, you'll be keeping us all up to date.
I'm going to be walking around with cameras coming out of my head and my chest and just everywhere I go. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. And I'm assuming you're going to have a relaxing holiday after that?
Relaxing? Potentially.
No, then.
I'm traveling with a couple of really high-functioning ADHDs. And then, so half of my family are high moving, energetic, dancing at like 11 p.m. And then the other half of us are like, we're peopled out for today. We've done too many people. We've given away too much energy. We've absorbed too much energy. So it's going to be a fun sort of time away.
Amazing.
But I find that relaxing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Even competing, I think it's quite relaxing.
I still am intrigued with your energy and drive for competition, and I still want to kind of get to the bottom of that, because I think that's intrinsic in a number of us that compete and show up in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
But there doesn't appear to be any fear or nervousness around competing.
There is.
Okay.
I'm scared of embarrassing myself. I'm fearful of doing the absolute opposite of what my professor told me to do, and him being silently, not fuming, but disappointed.
We know the looks from coaches.
And then Monday we start going over that again that we didn't do in the competition. So I'm scared of embarrassing myself. I'm fearful of doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
The first time my partner and my kids ever saw me compete, I got put to sleep.
Oh no.
And I woke up with my legs dangling in the air by the referee, and then the paramedic taking 25 minutes to get off her chair to go from there to me, which happens quite often. So yeah, I am scared. I'm fearful. I'm not fearful of getting hurt. In my last, I mean, I'm the lightest category possible. In my competition before last, I was against the ultra heavies. That doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't care about getting hurt. I don't care about the fear about that, the stage, the audience, the screaming, the cameras. None of that bothers me. I'm fearful of not doing as well as I can do.
Ooh, it sounds like you're putting a huge amount of pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I do, because I know that I'm at a good level in the other things I do in my life. But I don't think jiu-jitsu competition should be scary in terms of winning or losing.
Yeah.
Can you do what you do normally, like to the best of your ability? And at the end of the day, it's data collection. That's all it is. It's data collection. And the stats tell us, if we score the first 2 points, 86% of the people win the match.
Okay.
So that's what we need to do.
Good. Okay, I'm going to take that one away, because usually it's someone scoring 2 points against me and I go, oh, that's the wrong way around.
Yeah. I think Adam Mazinski is one of the only people in the world that I know, if you take him down, he will still butterfly sweep you, octopus guard sweep you and still win. But most other mere mortals need to score the first 2 points first. Okay.
So that sounds like a really good aim. Scoring the first 2 points first. What is your tactic to start a match?
I'm not telling you because they might be listening. I have usually got the advantage of having my hips much lower than anybody else. Okay. So I'm quite confident in knowing that it's unlikely they're going to want to try and throw me with a traditional hip throw, hip toss, even a drop Cianagi style, because I'm already on the floor. I'm already close to the ground. So therefore, I'm quite confident knowing that I can be quite upright and go for a belt grab, a leg grab. The legs are there. For me, the legs are everywhere. I just grab the legs. But I also like pulling guards.
Yeah.
I know that's not going to make some jiu-jitsu people happy, but I like pulling guards. And I like having a stand-up battle, which doesn't often happen. Like my last comp, I wanted to stand, and the guy pulled a deep, very deep half guard within about 4 seconds. And 2 seconds after that, I ruptured my medial collateral ligaments on my knee, and it popped was so loud that was like the whole match in pain.
But you finished the match?
Yeah, I didn't get submitted though.
With a popped knee.
Yeah,
Philip, what are you doing?
I just lost some points and I was quite happy with that.
But is this confidence about kind of getting hurt or not, and the lack of fear around that, is because you know you have a team around you and you can heal yourself?
Absolutely. But also, I competed in karate quite a lot, almost every weekend. And you get punched and kicked in the head and elbowed in the face. I'm not getting kicked in the head in this.
Yeah.
I used to compete in powerlifting. I haven't got to pick up a massive heavy bar and rupture my entire, quad off my kneecap. I used to compete in cooking like at Olympia at the shows. Again, the pressure of dripping sweat and burning yourself this is jiu-jitsu. This is fun. We're having a cuddle on the floor.
Okay, you're making it sound like really easy for anyone that's never done jiu-jitsu. Okay, but you're making competing sound really easy. The fact that actually from a risk perspective, you just put it into perspective. It's not risky.
No. And again, I take a lot of this away from watching my professor compete because his mindset and his ethos and the way he trains and prepares, I wasn't this confident at competing even a couple of years ago, but he is fantastic at preparing us.
Good. What one thing can we learn from you through your kind of coach, if that's the right way around? I've lost the plot. It's so hot.
Yeah.
What piece of advice or mindset or tip, what would help any of the rest of us?
If we're talking about gi, it's get your first grip, like you be first. Always be first. You have to get the first interaction and then you're in control from there. If you are second and they get the grip first on you, what do they want? Are they gripping and pulling, gripping and pushing, gripping and stepping? Do they want your feet parallel? Do they want you staggered stanced? Do they want you going back? Do they want you going forwards? So be first, but be prepared to counter if they're going to do something first themselves. And then I guess no gi. Again, have they got a collar tie? Are they going for a wrist, a double 2-on-1? Are they going for a deep underhook? Again, what do they want? What do you want? And be first. The way that Professor David puts it into us is ultimately the first 6 seconds of the match is where you win it or lose it. So you have to come out and fire the gun straight away. Okay,
good. I'm very excited for you. I just want to go and train now and kind of put all these things into practice. But it is really hot, and I just want to shout out to everyone that's training in the gi or no gi at the moment. Even getting my rash guard on earlier, and it's really sweaty, is a tough job.
You got to try and get it off yet. That's the hard bit.
I was going to say that, but I didn't kind of want to go there. Let's talk about your CIC, because you've founded a community interest company. I want to hear more.
Okay, so currently my clinic is called PW Therapy, and that's where I work from my main base, and I treat patients all around the world, either online or in person. However, there's a growing number of people that can't access treatments because of costs or awareness, or they can't access even sports or jiu-jitsu. Like many of my children's friends have gone for their trial jiu-jitsu class and have then found out, well, the gi's this much, membership's this much, insurance is this much. And then I've got other patients that require maybe 2 or 3 IV drips per week, or people that are out of work and would love to change careers or even go on a CPD. So my new CIC is called Health Jevity. It's brand spanking new. It's only at the stage of having a logo currently and a website being created. But what Health Jevity is going to do is going to enable the community and surrounding areas to access treatments, to access education, to access sports, happiness, health, longevity, whatever you want to put it, either fully or part funded. And so, for example, somebody may approach Health Jevity and they may say, look, I really need an MRI and some adjustments. And then the board or the committee, I don't want to call it a means test because it sounds evil, but we'll have to assess somehow what they require and how much. And then the company can then fund or part fund treatments with whoever it's required. We may have a whole host of people that would love to do a competition in jiu-jitsu, but can't afford to. Or a whole bunch of neurospicy people like myself that are a bit too nervous or too scared to sort of go to an event, and we can help host it. So Health Jevity is going to be the playmaker or the enabler to get health, well-being, happiness, longevity to the community via whatever that means. And I say that because whatever it means to you may be different to me. Health may mean one thing to one person, but somebody else might think of health as something different. But everything will be included. So that's Health Jevity.
Amazing. Thank you for that insight into what you're building. And I think kind of catching someone at the beginning of a journey is always really exciting, because you never quite know which direction it's going to go, and kind of revisiting, like progressing through the jiu-jitsu belts, or for you karate belts, whatever it's been in the past, you know that you can stick with this thing, and it gives you utmost joy and personal accomplishment for achieving what you have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so excited. I mean, it's going to fit in perfectly with my other teaching roles, my other coaching roles, my other, doctor roles, and Health Jevity will just sit alongside that, and it will just act as the playmaker. And it may well be other professionals need to get involved to sort of come on board with me, but that's something I'm looking at for the future.
Yeah, amazing. I want to wish you all the luck for that.
Thank you.
All the luck for your upcoming wedding and UFC BJJ Open thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing. And your whole family, and nearly your whole family, just having a fantastic time away. What are you working on between now and then, apart from everything?
Staying fit, rehabbing my knee. I'm working closely with my nutrition coach and my strength and conditioning coach. So I used Jay from BJJ Nutrition. He is phenomenal, and I use Mark Hibbs for my SNC. I've got a couple of physios that I work with, Leo and Riker from CFS BJJ, and obviously I've got David Anuma and Jay Butler and all the world's, in my opinion, the world's greatest jiu-jitsu professors. Yep. And my family, the world's greatest family, of course, they help me. Both my children now give me a tough time. They're beating me up now at home on the carpet, which is fantastic. So, and the whole jiu-jitsu family, everywhere I go, every open mat I go to, again, it's just friends, family, and happy, fun roles.
Amazing. So, thank you so much for bringing your energy. And another shout out, we need a Dr. Troll for Dr. Philip.
Please give me a Dr. Troll, please.
Philip, how can people follow your journey if they're not already?
Okay, so at Wheeler Medicine is my handle on Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere else. I have got a PW Therapy page, and I have got a Health Jevity page being made. But Wheeler Medicine is where I put out all of my daily content, all of my stay positive vibes, my insights on what's currently trending in the world of nutrition, peptides, herbs, all of my sort of journeys around the world when I went to China and Vegas. All that stuff's all on there for you to watch. But then I've got other pages you can get to from there also.
Fantastic. Philip, I wish you all the luck for the rest of this year and beyond. You have a very, I was going to say long journey. I don't think you have. I think this is going to be a very exciting journey ahead of you, even more exciting than the 42 years that you've lived already. Yeah,
definitely. And then maybe, hopefully, I can pop back at some point and give you an update on Health Jevity.
That would be fantastic.
And maybe some of the jiu-jitsu camps that might be, involved, and other bits and pieces. And my second trip back to China, maybe we can talk about that.
Amazing. I love, you're putting it out to the universe already. It's happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's done now.
Philip, it's been an absolute joy and pleasure chatting with you. I wish you all the best, and I will speak to you again very soon.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
You are welcome. Oh my gosh, what a whirlwind. That was an incredible conversation. Please go and follow Wheeler Medicine on Instagram. And as always, check out the clips on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And subscribe. I want to get to 1,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube in 2026. Catch you again. Thank you for listening, all that stuff. See you on the next episode of the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast.